Happy days. It is time for some FACEIT League. We're back. We are back here for the back half of Season 7. We took a little break. I missed y'all, but it is time to get back in the groove. We're going to kick it off with a Master Division and two of the best teams we have in Master Division right now. We've got Dreamlight taking on Ereus here. Let's have a look at some standings. Ereus are coming in as your only undefeated team left here in EMEA Master Division. Ereus coming in 5-0. Not only are they the only undefeated team, but they're ahead of everybody by at least 2 games. A lot of teams kind of in that 4 to 8 range, and still Ereus has a 2-game lead on the entire pack. Now, Dreamlight are going to be a tough customer. I've been looking forward to this one. Dreamlight were 4-0 to kick off this Season 7. But ran into a little bit of trouble there in that final week before we went on break, running into Starbits and Quasar and dropping both of those back to back. And in matches, I think I probably would have had Dreamlight favored. Now against Starbits, we had them neck and neck in the power rankings. And if I remember correctly, this was a 5-map banger. Yeah, wasn't? Yeah. I think we had this one on stream. But yeah, this was an absolute 5-map banger. Coming off the back of that one, an upset by Quasar. I would definitely would have put my money on Dreamlight here as being the favorites coming into this matchup. But alas, maybe it's just the momentum thing. We're getting a mercy ban. We're getting a mercy ban. We just trip over everything I was just saying. Fall face first into this mercy ban. What the hell? I mean, the meta is in such an interesting place. I've been seeing some wild stuff. It could have also just been some kind of glitch on the match page or something. That does happen. Or misclick. That also happens. Let's take a look at Ereus. We talked a little bit about Dreamlight, and let's get to their strength schedule. As we're loading into Nepal here to kick things off. I mean, you've got wins over Mew3 and SRP Check already this season. So you're defending champs and the runner-ups from Season 6. You've already beaten them this season. So it's not only are Ereus 2 games up on the rest of the division and undefeated, but they've already beaten the 2 teams that were in grand finals for Season 6. It's feeling like they firmly have a grasp on this #1 seed. But a Dreamlight, I mean, you've got to be hungry to bounce back here. I think we've got a certified banger on our hands. Let's get into Nepal. We'll see what we got. Okay, we do get to Toriat, and this is one of the things that makes your teams are swapped. I also owe you a Zarya ban. Hold, please hold here. I'm gonna give you a Hotori pop. Let me fix things. Sorry. Boom, boom, boom. All right, now your information should be accurate. But what I was about to say is one of the things that makes this area squad so dangerous right now and difficult to play against is the addition of Hattori on this team. And I mean, she's like one of the only changes we've ever seen. Whew. China able to go in 5 Rod FD. Ereus is working with Vendetta, getting a little more traditional composition here out of Dreamlight in this opening map of Shrine. Slow dive playing the Sojourn, kind of hold down Elephant. Also, a lot of constant pressure on the Hattori. So it's hard for Hattori to find a place to hide. Yeah, and it's going to go in and try to take care of that. That positioning there on the Elephant was just too powerful. You had to clear that off or you wouldn't have access to the rest of the point. Good boot. It's just that little bit of extra damage needed combined with China. We'll get a kill on the Peekaboo as well. We got an early cap here out of Dreamlight. We'll eventually get the flip as a long extended opening fight finally goes the way of Ereus. We are getting the Wuyong here, but we're getting it combined with a Kiri. It's kind of an interesting look. Wrecking Ball, Wuyong, and Vendetta just get so much damage. You get Pile Drive in, like one of those big chonky orbs from the Wuyong and the Vendetta to come in and finish it off just like that. You see the overhead land from China on the back of the Pile Driver. Now we're going to get the title blasted. Never mind the ultimate. Oh, but the Swift Step does get Tomax out of the way. They're able to get the Kitsune Rush into play. Here comes Slow Dive. Sliding in with a double kill off of the Overclock. Beautiful move. They're out of Dreamlight. But they're not done with this fight just yet. Okay, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. It was just a good little pick there from Hattori before leaving. But really nice play out of Dreamlight. We saw how dangerous and how well coordinated the Wuyong Vendetta Wrecking Ball combo was in, even throwing in the title blast to make it more dangerous. But what a great move out of Tomex. Really helped win that fight. But Texal now has a Kitsune Rush of their own, returning very quickly back onto this point. Mine's out from the ball. See, it looks like that's not the most ideal place for the mines. Looking a little off the, off the point. Such a lot pun. I mean, there's corner and then there's that. Fudgy! Good to see you. I appreciate it. Hey! Damn it, Trash Panda. I got it, all right? I've told you I'm still getting back in my groove, all right? I'm coming off some holiday rust. All right. Damn it. Hey, I'm just making sure y'all are paying attention.
I'm with you.
Toriel get cut down. Kind of got caught there. Didn't look like just wasn't able to get out after one of those engages. Then you've got China running for their life. Good 1v5 scenario created there by Dreamlight to isolate the Vendetta. Then I like the swap out of Oppon. Oppon going over to the Diva. It gives you a lot more maneuverability, so you can kind of stay as a core in a very kind of a hyper-mobile little death ball. See how tight this core sitting. As I say that, Dreamlight separates to avoid the title blast, but in over the top, Slowdive does get stunned. But look at the peel. Tomex Swift steps in with the Suzu, throws down the Kitsu. Slowdive takes care of China, is going to run off Hattori. Meanwhile, Tomex is just doing work on the point. Peekaboo finds the kill on the ball. Oppon and Tomex hold the front. And Dreamlight, with a great opening round here, are on track to secure this. We are going to get a touch with mines from Hattori. Oh no, China doesn't make it. Okay, does get on there, but has to use the whirlwind to get there. Mines over the point. Pile drive onto 2. Slow Dive has the OC in play. Oppon and Rod FD have already found picks. Right after they'll come up with their second. And the dive composition just can't quite find their targets. Dreamlight take round 1.
Score 0-1. Ready for battle.
I believe Peekaboo is Gucci, right? Yeah, Peekaboo is Gucci. Rovan. Apologies. I know I was calling them Peekaboo because that's, just my caster thing. Like, I get a little Ron Burgundy on that. I'll just read whatever's on the screen. But that is, in fact, Gucci.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Interesting rotation for coastal rotation here out of Ereus with Hattori moving in on the left-hand side. Does not escape the massive amount of damage. You can see, look at the damage, the ult charge here from Slowdive and Peekaboo. I think that's pretty much from exclusively shooting Hattori. They've both gotten to about 40% respectively. A little over under. Now the fight has migrated to the point. Both teams kind of closing in. Let's see, which... Ping trying to poke around from the outside. What's our target here? Tori goes rolling all the way up to the high ground. Once again, boops 3 off. China stays down low. Looks like maybe Tori trying to provide distraction while the rest of the team focuses down the Diva. But Slow Dive picks up ICAV in that exchange. Gucci will fall as a result of. So it's changed 1 for 1. Ereus does get a flip through this chaos. Oppot is extraordinarily low as they try to hold this long open side. Oh, the flank from ICAV coming back in, but Slowdive slides in for the aggressive kill on a Pingu while trying to avoid the bolts. Tori does chase them down with the pile drive. The back and forth kind of continuing here, but Ereus is building percentage through all of this. Oh, the beat from Runasapi barely lands. Now Kitsune is in play. That is from Texall. 20% ahead of Tomex. There's nobody on the point. Dreamlight just kind of back away, covering from Slowdive from a distance. Oh, and Central up on hunts down Hattori. This should eventually be the flip. Slowdive on the Sojourn. The Sojourn has been a dominant force in both of these submaps. A controlling force. So, I mean, you know, gamers have one name challenge impossible. I have to know all 3 aliases at all times for all 1,000 players that I keep up with. It's ridiculous! Give this whole man a break! Kitsune in play. Central up on... What are we doing? We're just kind of locked down by a minefield, unfortunately. He's able to escape out. I think that's the real target. China going in. Whoa, sorry, y'all. Trying to hunt down Slowdive. Cannot find it. Slowdive's able to stay alive. They even picked up an important kill on the disengage. Oops, sorry. One of the ICAV pop. Doesn't look like they landed the bola. Should make an account called Ramantra. I mean, that, yes. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Good. Slowdive opens things up. Trying to chase down China. Rod FD using a sound barrier to leverage a very important 80% fight. Oh, almost had a golden boop opportunity. Central Oppot does end up chasing down the Vendetta. Cool. When in doubt, go to Slowdive. Slowdive actually under a bit of pressure. Yeah, as I'm saying, notice they're low on health. That was a... Not sure what happened. Unclear what happened with the Tidal Blast. I don't know if it even made it out. I don't know if that got Ajaxed or what. Peekaboo will stick China as they were in the middle of their Sundering Blast or Sundering something. Sundering Sword. Blade. Sundering Blade. That's what it is. Dreamlight, take the map. Oh my goodness. Slowdive had a hell of a map. 11k damage from Slowdive. 11.6. And you expect that from your hit scan, you know, like on you know, maybe a little bit longer maps or where you got a little bit more poke involved, but on control for your soldier to come up with that kind of damage, that was crazy town. Awesome performance from Dreamlight really as a whole, but awesome performance from Slowdive there to kick off our match here today. Let's see, I owe you a point. I owe you a point in Dreamlight. You know, I was talking about needing to bounce back after that 3-0 from Quasar. That's one way to do it right there. Come in with a traditional look as well, right? We're running, I mean, just Tracer Sojourn. We're not trying to get too crazy with the Vendetta being introduced. Sorry, I'm pouring my tea here. And it was starting to look like it was getting a little away from him. Why does it still say matches being played? Come on, give me my bands. What's going on here? All right, we're going to get a King's pick out of Ereus. But it started to look like, you know, the chaos and a little bit of the Wrecking Ball variation with Vendetta, you know, was working for Ereus initially on Shrine, right? And, you know, really up at the tempo, but Dreamlight do a good job of kind of just stabilizing on that. You see him kind of pull it together, like really glue it together as Shrine went on. And by the time, you know, when we head over to Village, they were pretty much in control from there. They're able to sit on the high ground, control those long sight lines. Really well played. Really fundamental game there out of Dreamlight. Ramatra ban here from Ereus. We took a brief look at some stats. Obviously, Slowdive was your player of the map there. But, you know, just all around, you could see the amount of control. It felt very close on Shrine, right? And at the end of the day, though, yeah, only 3 to 5 deaths from Dreamlight. You're looking at 3 to 9 deaths, you know, averaging more 5 to 9 deaths here from Ereus. So just to give you an idea of how much Dreamlight really kind of ran away with that second round. We'll have our 500th match will be happening here this month. So I'm trying to figure out, I want to do something fun for that. But our 500th FACEIT League match will happen this month. Tour. I think it's going to be week 8, if my calculations are correct. Somewhere in week 8. We are going to get the Vendetta ban immediately here out of Dreamlight. I don't know. Is this the best place to use it? I mean, Vendetta actually very strong in this, you know, kind of front back style map. You know, as well as being good in more open maps with more lanes to play with. But an interesting choice to bin the Vendetta here on Kings. Typically, we see the Vendetta banned on, like, Runasapi or something like that, right? Where it's a lot more avenues to play with. Kings, very linear, you know, very narrow, very front back. So it's an interesting choice, but I can see the Vendetta being, a lot of frontline pressure. And if Dreamlight can move up to 2-0 on this one, take a key weapon away from Ereus here, as they are going to go on the attack to start things off. I was correct in that. Let's get into Kings. They're also going to bring in Lars. Peekaboo, Gucci, rather. Showing us the defensive Pharah. Dreamlight, here to hold. Very traditional back of hotel. Nobody on high ground. Not only is Lars subbing in, we're going to get Jesper Swag subbing in as well, which of course means we are getting the Venture. And this is just rotation of Venture cooldowns with bubbles. Both can do an enormous amount of damage. Both the Zarya and the Venture can do an enormous amount of damage. Central Opon clearly is the focus of that damage right now. Look how low the Zarya is. The drill dash from above will take down the Zarya. A worthy trade favoring the Ereus attack. Gucci was lurking on the side, but oh, that Zarya will melt through a Pharah in a heartbeat if you're not careful. Up to the high ground, IKF finds a very low Atomics, and Ereus finds a point on the board. Prashy, I appreciate you being here. Good to see you, my friend. So he says, I don't know if I can take this being close. All right, we're gonna get, oh, the wall almost blocked it. That was, oh my goodness. That was like a pixel away from blocking the Kitsu. Hey, but a really good disengage. Yep, right after he had the amp, everybody backs away beautifully. And Tomix now has a Kitsune Rush to respond with. Swift step right up front, throw it right on top of Opon, around the corner, goes all the way up to Bookstore. Beautifully placed, actually. IKF tries to hold Bookstore with this OC, and Gucci ends up cryo-freezing way back in enemy territory, so that doesn't work out. Grab in, Central Opon will not survive, but Slowdive responds. The grab from the other side, the counter grab from the defense Might just be enough, we'll see. Can you take Lars down to 2v3? But Lars is charged up and glowing like a Christmas tree. So defense is going to back up, even though they have an extra player. They have a one-player advantage. You still cannot take the smoke of that fully charged Zarya. Peekaboo will, Gucci will be returning with a Blizzard as well, coming to live shortly. Watch for this attack to go right onto the Mei. Would not surprise me in the slightest if they all try to focus down Peekaboo before they can get the Blizzard in play. That's going to be the defensive bait and the Blizzard. Wall is in. Upon, I mean, benefiting from a Kitsu, and we also had a nice tectonic shock thrown into the mix. They're able to avoid that Blizzard almost entirely. In a flawless fight, they're out of areas to push it over the line. I don't even know why I'm here. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the follow. Oh. Yeah, I think the earlier wall was anticipating this grab. That was a little too soon. And even with the Kitsu, Lars just has a beautiful graviton surge. And it's another flawless fight. No casualties from Ereus in the past two team fights. They have a 4-minute plus time bank with eyes set on the cap. Gucci. That was an interesting, look like a double drill dash, kind of like the whatever happened there. That was an interesting little interaction. I think it was the boop on the burrow, but I mean, just gets destroyed immediately. But the defense holds. Central Uppon's able to fight too, despite going down early in the fight. The defense is actually here to play. Gucci is going to clean up what remains, and the defense holds the line with 1.5 meters to go. I looked just so desperate, especially like when Gucci just immediately dies right out of the gate, just kind of gets booped around, just floating around helplessly. Like, it did not look good in the opening re-engage there, but Oppon immediately just melts through too. They're able to steal that back and stop a 4-minute time bank. Now the grab is in play. Lars low, ICAB with an overclock. Oh, Oppon's able to land the right click. They had to initially respect the OC, and you saw how Oppon had to back away. Couldn't just like run up to the grab. But wise move, good play out of the defense, fantastic long-range grab. And you're able to get the right clicks in, find the kills to shut it down, shut down the OC, and shut down the Ereus attack. Oh, the drill dash did it! Gucci's in the gap. Tectonic shock in play. 2 on the Tomex, and they're gone. Nice 2-piece from Jesper Swag. What an explosive re-engage out of Ereus. Texol will pile on another, and that will be the cap. SC30Z. I appreciate the follow.
Ready for battle.
No. No, the kill feed is very much not funny. Very spread high ground defense.
Defend objective A. We're in this together. All of us.
Oh. We saw initially Jesper Striker was, you know, stair side. And it just gets immediately pounced on right out of the gate. Great decisive rotation from Dreamlight. ICAV has managed to pop back with the Ash. Texall getting in the mix as well. This defense holds. Jesper Striker returns into the fight. ICAV with a beautiful clutch. They're on the back of that defense. Oh, what was that? Wow, what a moment between ICAV and Jesper Swag. Poor slow dive. I mean, just is left just question marks. Jesper Swag will mow through 2 more. Have to ring off Jesper. Oh! Gucci, I think wanted to go up top. There was a call to drop back down. What's the gameplay here? Alright. From the high ground, Hoppa dives in, but is sub 100 health before they even really get their bubble down. So I'm just kind of have to rotate back through Hotel. I think fortunate both teams are kind of on rotation. Bob here to anchor the point, but Gucci's able to sneak into the back line. Fly Jesper Swag. I believe that happened up top. Maybe not. Maybe that was down low. Pingo hits Lars with that huge beat. Tried to just disengage and back out. One tick has already been picked up, but there's still time for a recontest, particularly with this Kitsu in play. But Oppon with the primal. Oh, is taking control here. Does end up just backing away for the rest of the Kitsu. So that's more than enough to secure the point. Knew exactly how long they need to stay in. Dreamlight will come away with this point A. Good follow-up out of Lars. Get you past the bookstore and some extra ground here in the point B. Just so I can just aggressively drop the only ult the defense has here. I don't mind it. They know they're probably down in the economy, and you're able to find slow dive. So you take the OC threat away, and this gives the rest of your team a chance to kind of stay in here and brawl for arches. Lars wins the fight up front. And a well-executed plan, despite not really having much to play with. Jesper Swag will get it done, and is now lurking behind enemy lines. There's the shot. There's the drill dash. Will not get the kill. Suzu had been forced out, though. So this could potentially eat another 10 seconds off the clock, but I think Tomix needed that 10 seconds to get the rest of this Kitsu up. Slow dive will open up with the OC and then interim. There's that Kitsu to try to back this up. Oppon's able to turn the corner, and God, the Kitsu with his Zarya in it is just too much. It's just so powerful. So many bubbles to play with. Everybody gets a bubble. You get a bubble, and you get a bubble.
Just got better. Not so
Surge Railgun still go burr. That is a true fact. Good disengage there from Dreamlight, just to kind of back away from ICAV's OC. Just for Strike does take the opportunity to try to take some space. This is also going to recognize this rotation, but already in place, Central up on taking this high ground on top of the subway. What a clever play. Gucci got the pulse in. Gets a kill on to ICAV. Now feel free to move in, take down the Zarya. Rod FD finds a pair of kills to close out the fight. That'll put 2 points on the board, but you're already at a deficit as far as time is concerned. Dreamlight really have 56 seconds to push this thing all the way in. Well, they need to finish with some time. Yeah, never mind. They need to finish with some time. I got myself backwards on that. Never mind. Never mind. Don't mind me. Huge grab. That's a grab he does. I mean, you keep playing like that. Whew. Pingu does not get the sound barrier in. The Kitsu is not enough to help survive that. A really nice grab that you did not have to spin to match any of the support ults. And that would finish, even if even if my original blunder was correct, could still be doable, but it's not. You got a minute 20 here to play with. Any time left in the bank means that Dreamlight will get an attack. Sound barrier now able to be used in conjunction with the Kitsu to survive the grab on the other side. You are able to do so. That's 3 ultimates in play. Okay, Tomex will find the kill. You've driven the defense out to the fringes. Oh, but a nice re-engage. Central Alpon pushes over to the right to try to find a kill. 3 players from Ereus try to move in. They do eventually get that, but they C9 the cart to find the Zarya.
Crush them. So you throw tiny daggers. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Once again, it appears to be a very high ground oriented defense. Here you do have Just for Strike hiding inside of statue. Gucci does make that check. I mean, we've seen Just for Strike has just been hiding a lot through a lot of these team fights to try to set up. So good corner check there out of Gucci. Ooh, ICAV's able to melt through the Zarya up front. Gucci fights Jasper. $20 seconds to go, full rail. Can use a good headshot here. A lot of focus on to Lars to make this approach. Excuse me, on the Opon as they make this approach. If we're playing out of this quarter, where an OT has to keep a foot anchored onto this objective. Just for is able to pick up one that has to trade it out. Focus all on to Lars here. Looks like both teams just trying to see if they can melt the Zarya, noting that would be pretty much instant win on both sides. Oh, having to step off the point, a dangerous move. Lars able to muscle Central Opon away, and indeed, that kill does guarantee the hold.
Score 3-2. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Musket, thank you for your follow. I appreciate you. It's getting a pretty traditional looking setup here from the defense of Dreamlight. It was a one and done last time. Looking for 2-minute 15-second hold, 33%. Up on. Oh, already it's a nasty rail shot to the big trouble. Oh, but Tomex able to kind of hit a pressure relief valve. Dreamlight needed that. Tomex might just say this. Appa was having to back around the corner. You kind of felt felt everything kind of going dark there for Dreamlight. And what a hit. Tomex with the clutch kill to find ICAV. Oh, but Justice White gets the bubble. Immediately retaliates. Now that drill dash puts Lars in a position to take this point and close it out.
Play of the game.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Not very often you see somebody getting frozen as the play of the game. I must admit. Route 66 pick here out of Dreamlight. Interesting. Don't see a lot of Route 66. Also, we're banning out the Wulong. And what this is I mean, this feels kind of set from Dreamlight, trying to play into those open sight lines that we were talking about back on Nepal. That worked so well for him on Nepal. I see the vision. This feels inspired. I see the vision. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at some stats. Arcav leading in elims and damage, just barely over Lars. Just for Swag getting picked quite a bit, but the trades do end up working out in the end. Central Opon under a lot of pressure as well. You see 13 deaths there for the Zarya of Dreamlight. And I mean, we definitely felt that in game. You could kind of just feel how difficult it was for Central Opon to find any room to work. It's going to be a Diva ban here out of Dreamlight. We are going to get Hattori coming back in, as well as China. I don't... Route 66 is, like, super quiet. There wasn't a whole... Let's get into it.
Ready for battle.
Ice cold! I got a Vendetta play of the game yesterday where I gave myself off the map, but you took 3 players with me. Hey, some Vendetta bowling? Let's go. Let's go. Very reminiscent of some old Reinhardt bowling back in the day. Winton! Let's get some Wintons in chat. Winton! Did ICAV just deliver our... Yeah, that might be our thumbnail right there. We might... All right, we are getting Wintons from everybody here. Wintons from both sides as we head into Route 66. Let's go. I will never argue with some Winton gameplay. Mirror compositions, actually. Very, very classic looking Overwatch as far as Overwatch 2 is concerned. Sojourn Tracer, Lucio Curie, and the big man up front. It's us too. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. slow and steady push, eventually the high ground maneuver, trying to fight ICAV, and Opon succeeds. I should have said, and Opon succeeds in finding ICAV. That would have been a stronger sentence. But hey, you know what? Slow Dive is looking strong AF. Look at that triple kill. The cleanup was swift and decisive. Get your gambas in. Get your gambas in. Maybe too late by this point. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's up to Trash Panda. Oh, you're not gonna, okay. We left the cart. There's a little bit of a tracer duel going on the right-hand side of your screen, but it's this battle for high ground that I'm really concerned about. Pingu's going to get pounced on immediately. Good combination of slow dive shooting and central Opon just in the right place, right time. So far, slow dive's having a hell of an opener. And, you know, this going to Route 66, trying to play these open sight lines, working well here for Dreamlight. They've had one death thus far. Lego Baller Boy, I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Rod FD. Okay, Hattori is able to make it out. Which has, you have to respect that. This will force Opon back. This opens up the choke for the rest of the team to push in. Good cleave from Hattori. Forces up the Suzu. Now the Primal in play. Slow dive with an overclock. Tor would love to cancel that, but we'll settle for this. Lucio had the jungle, couldn't quite find the kill. Was trying to get the cancel onto that Sombra, or at least take it out of the fight. But you're gonna give Dreamlight another opportunity here. This using a Kitsune Rush to try to continue this attack. Push around this corner. Looks like Gucci pulse bomb their own teammate off that one. But you know what? Opon is going to use that as a power up. We'll go up to the high ground. The sound barrier helped a little bit as well. Hattori low. Both Winstons had to just kind of retreat to their respective sides. And then just kind of trying to muscle it right up the gut approach. So far has been stunted by Ereus' defense. Sound barrier and pulse bomb at the ready here for Ereus. Not a whole lot to play with here. It's gonna be up to slow dive, I think, to open this up, which you've got slow dive in a really powerful spot here on the roof of the clubhouse. There's the sound barrier engage. Ereus want to come clean this off. ICAV and Tori will jump up, successfully find a pair. And after a very just well-played, stubborn defense, not giving up any space, but not overextending either. A lot of time eating off the clock, and eventually a fight win here from Ereus. Very well played. Yes, I believe that's right. Lego Baller, yes. For season... was that season... I think it was season 5. Wasn't that season 5? China lands the pole, Satori lands the primal. And then defense continuing to find success here. We're gonna go ahead and layer in the Kitsu. We did get a Rod FD sound barrier amidst that exchange. And Opon's able to find a trade here. Now trying to come hold the choke. Opon's gonna get a pair of her. Great swing back out of Dreamlight, but it's down to a 2v2. I mean, it's still at a knife's edge of this fight. Gucci here to try to help run Tori away and will indeed find that kill with the help from Slow Dive. Oh, I did forget to swap sides, didn't I? I could have swore I hit that button. Thank you, Maddie. Hey, you know, we're filling out the Bullskunk Bingo today. I know, we're still kind of breaking off some of the holiday. I'm sorry. I had the bands rack. I thought I had swapped them. Because, like, I even had your bands were on the right side, but the teams weren't on the right side. The Wuyong band was the Dreamlight band. Spanish Dreamlight, they're going to get the cap here. About 230 rolling into point C. Thank you, man. I'm just making sure y'all are paying attention. That's it. That's it. Give me Slowdive actually pulling the trigger on the ultimate first, and it works out.
Cybernetics regulated.
Defense doesn't quite get set. Slowdive's able to get in a strong position, finds the opening pick. Defense is still kind of scrambling, get reinforcements in. Oppon's going to keep them off balance. Drops the Primal Rage in the corner. Everybody runs back into spawn, kind of just drops back, check on their teammate. And it's right back to Dono Wall, that right-hand side. Jump in on ICAP, drop down the bubble. ICAP does have the overclock in place, likes forward onto the point. There's a sound barrier and a Kitsu out of Dreamlight to help push this in. Up on low, inside the healing bubble. It's still not enough to at least hold that front line. They got to back out, which minimizes the value of that Kitsu. Now the response out of the defense. Defense in a very strong position here, holding that ultimate for as long as they did, and Opon will not survive that final ingress. Winning that one in the macro. Ereus will cut this clock down to 60 seconds. Gucci and Opon made their way to truck. This is a good position to start in. Got to be careful about the rotation. You can see there was some pressure from the defense up to the high ground, and it's kept everybody else at bay here. Tori now putting attention towards truck. Opon back out. This has allowed China a little room to work into the back line of Dreamlight. Now with a pulse bomb in the pocket. Gucci same. China's will land. Opon is blown to smithereens. Tori follows it up with a primal range going all the way into Clubhouse, right in front of the Dreamlight spawn. Hunts down Slowdive. And Ereus with a good hold here. It looked like Gucci's on point. Yeah. But you're in a 1v2 against both supports. There's a lot of sustain here. You're just not able to work through anything. You have bought enough time for Central Opon to get in here, but there's not a whole lot to ults to work with. Opon will not survive long enough to get the Primal in play. Maybe if you got the Primal, maybe you can layer that into an overclock. We'll see. I mean, honestly, this is taking a little bit. Okay, if Tori does get the kill on the Slowdive, Gucci did a really good job of buying time there at the end, but alas, the defense holds. No changes compositionally. Keeping this very fundamental. Opening bubble from Hattori. Does buy the corner. Opon up to Big Earls. Didn't want to play with that. But watch for the bait. They're kind of drawing him in. Here comes Gucci trying to squeeze. Works out. ICAP finds the kill. Slowdive goes down. Well, should I say it works out for Ereus. The squeeze was actually too late. Hattori is able to find that opener on the slow dive, along with ICAV. ICAV actually getting the pick. Both Winston's trying to see what they can get done, kind of diving in. But you have Hattori dropping back down. And the defense slowly able to move more and more reinforcements onto this point, kind of leapfrogging over their own team. China, once again, this time working around the far right-hand side, but Atomics is able to put them down. And the defense will eventually just move out and methodically evict Ereus off of this point here. No kills for Ereus in that recontest. I should have phrased that differently. No losses for Dreamlight in that recontest. There you go. All right, let's keep an eye on ICAV here. And the attacking overclock. Jumping up to the high ground. Bubble in place. OC is pulled. Not quite anything really to shoot at. Rod FD has the sound barrier in. You hit plenty of people with that. I don't think it got all 5. I think it looked like it might have gotten somewhat blocked, but you survived the overclock. Oh. Gucci currently trying to mark China, knows they're low. Could not get the finish as the heals were there. Good play, good peel from Texall, but a Primal Rage from Chinstrel Upon is going to move in and find ICAV. Take a lot of this damage down. Hattori is 1. Dreamlight will leap up to the high ground for that kill. Returns to the point to anchor this cart down. Now, let's say, you know, just a volley of headshots could do a lot of work, but here comes some reinforcements. The cavalry is here. Dreamlight hole for a second time, right in front of the doors. 70 seconds remain. Continuing rush out of Texall to try to push this in, but you're running into this slow dive OC as China is now painfully aware. Back down low, Ereus is trying to play in their Kitsu, but didn't have a whole lot to work with. Up to the high ground, a kill and a slow dive would go a long way. Get the Soj out of this fight. Leap in, but the Suzu is perfect, and slow dive will take Hattori off the map. Gun him down with the Soj. Hattori with a swap to the has. Just looking for some burst damage, looking for an opening pick here. Hopeful that your DPS will get things done. Hattori just has to go wall up. Hide in a corner for a moment. But the stick is good! China gets 2, including themselves. Gucci finds Hattori. And the demons have just got way more bodies left. Tomex close it out with a pair. And Dreamlight move up 2-1 in the series. What a defense. What a pick. And that's when we saw Route 66. I was like, oh, this feels like this feels like a little bit of a pocket pick. Like, this is a map that we don't see very often. And I mean, if Dreamlight has that map worked out, which I mean, they clearly did. They clearly did. That is a dangerous pick that they can pull out and that, I mean, it's good enough to give them the lead. I mean, a full hold there. We saw 2 big holds, like, with less than 2 meters to go there on that point A. Ereus now taking us to Runasapi. And a reminder that Dreamlight used their Vendetta ban on Kings. where Runasapi is absolutely one of the most common maps we see the Vendetta band come out. You know, when used against a Vendetta style team. Although that map was such a, you know, more classic dive Overwatch, right? We got the dive mirror. So just by map pick alone, Dreamlight was able to avoid that previously, but they can't avoid it any longer. I would absolutely anticipate we're going to get we're going back in kind of the Ereus, like high pace play style with a Reinhardt band. Okay. I actually swapped sides before we get into the map this time. I know. Let's look at some stats there from map 3. I have one getting punished a lot there. Look like Tomex had a 24 assists from Tomex in the carry. It just feels like a lot of value, right? That's a lot of value out of both probably Kitsune Rush and like Suzu's. I mean, we saw that. I mean, that was huge, very important Suzu to help save against the dive in from Hattori, you know. But Tomex was doing that the whole time. The 24 assists. That's a standout. That's a standout for me. You're gonna have Opon at 27 and 5 is both most Elins and fewest deaths. It's Hattori who takes most damage though. 15.7k, for whatever that's worth. It's gonna be the Venture ban. So Lars and China coming in. No Hattori, no Jesper Swag. Let's go find the famous twin bulls of Runasapi. My spirit animal. It's time for map 4. Dreamlight are one map away from handing Ereus their first loss of the season. A team that's seemed pretty invincible thus far through the first half of the season 7. But now, Dreamlight, you know what? I talked about how they had already used the Vendetta ban early. Whoa. What's going on here? I hope the players aren't getting this. I'm sorry. Obviously, I'm getting some kind of packet loss. Didn't get connected to the server very well. Ooh. We may have to back out. Wow, this is some interesting... let's see if I can... Let's see what happens if I back out. I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. Alright. Sorry about missing the first 2 minutes, but hey, we got a grab and play there from Lars. Actually, doesn't seem like it got a lot done. Slowdive's able to pile in a 3-piece with this overclock. Dreamlight have the lead and are about to get a 2.5-minute checkpoint here on Runasapi. Lars playing out of the window. Wants to get down there as soon as possible. Has China leading the charge. Ping is going to throw in a sound barrier. Bubble on. Gucci will not protect you through that onslaught. Appa and Nalja is worried they're going to get stuck. They are able to bubble themselves out. That was perfectly normal looking Overwatch. I don't know what you're talking about. That was fine. That was fine. Sound barrier play. Grab is gonna catch one, but that one might be enough. It's the kid. It's the Kiriko. It's a precious target to find. And Dreamlight clap back here. They've had 4 deaths so far here in this opening 3.5 minutes. Oh, this is going to be a Gucci Sundering Blade that just, I mean, smashes through Lars. Don't forget that goes through the bubbles, and full damage still goes on to the hero. So, yeah, Lars got immediately melted with that. Little Lucio duel. Oh, right after he'll get the kill. Yeah, I shut down Overwatch and relaunched Overwatch is how I refreshed the invite. Their magic. So that's what I had to do, is just turn it off and turn it back on kind of thing. Hey, you know, we're here. It worked. We're here. And thank goodness, because just look at this map. Look how close this map is. Checkpoint picked up! Gucci tried to make it back. You leave your backlight open for China to move in and find the pair while you're looking to stop Cart. Now Ereus have put together back-to-back well-played team fights. Did Tomex get canceled? Tomex did get canceled. Oh my goodness. Texel simultaneously threw their Kitsu and canceled Tomex's. Unreal. What just happened? Oh my goodness. How dare you be nice. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Nothing but love and respect there at the end of the day. I mean, these teams want to kill each other. Oh. I'll see him play here for my Kev. Oh. Gets the ghost headshot on Opon. Like just so casual. No, I wasn't actually headshotting you. That didn't take any thought at all. It was the flick down to get the disruptor shot in. Like, ridiculous. Come on. All right, Dreamlight still have hopes of ending this series in 4. I'm gonna drop a sound barrier and we'll help defend against the grab. Now the counter grab as Ereus tries to slingshot forward. China low, I believe, courtesy, I don't know, unclear, but China and Lars are both gonna get destroyed. Great bubble there from Opon, can help protect against the China dive in that last one. Yeah, the Kyrian Jacks isn't something you see very often. That, I mean, there's a like split-second casting time on that. AFAX? Oh, Maddie. Oh, Maddie. That's good. That's good. Oh, Gucci just smashed Peekaboo's head into the ground. Oh, no shot. Slowdive just got a triple collat. Slowdive. I mean, I know it was in a grab, but wait. Yeah, it was absolutely in a grab, but that's still a triple collat. That was still a triple collat. I don't care if it was in a grab. Oh no, I totally got the AFAX. That was good. No explanation necessary. That was really good. Dueling Kitsu's in play. God, I mean, the Dreamlight just barely had an edge, like on the tip of the triangle here, as these two teams are fighting for corner. Theosi jump in, double shot onto Pango. And ICAV just faces the business into the entirety of Dreamlight's wrath. Dreamlight now looking to match the outstanding push. We're at 140 to 110 here on Runasapi with less than 90 seconds to go. Sound barrier in from Rod FD. You've already got an opener. Gucci slides in. Try to help protect your back line. Oh, gets the big overhead on the Lars. Confirm that team fight. And Dreamlight put a back-to-back of their own. This could be enough for the lead. ICAV gets Tomax with an overclock. Jumps on to the point. A 2-meter lead, and ICAV takes him down. It has been overtaken here from Dreamlight. Now, they are moments away from handing Ereus their first loss of the season. China out, China dead. Can anybody stop the push? Pingu, ICAV, nobody can. Dreamlight win the series. Wow. And what a bounce back after a very close map 5 before break, losing that heartbreaker to Starbits, and then dropping an 0-3, an uncharacteristic 0-3 to Quasar. I was like, man, I mean, Dreamlight have to bounce back here. There's your triple collat. What a clapback against a team that's, I mean, seemingly had a tier break between themselves and the rest of the division. Dreamlight just smashed through that ceiling and ripped that tier break to pieces. What a series. That was spectacular. That was everything I hoped for. I just want one more. I just wanted another map just because. Just because that was a fun and amazing series. But wow, what a finish. All right, before we go, oh, no. Before we go, I have to check this. What happened with the Kitsu? Oh, it's just that nasty. It's just that Texal's just him. It's just that nasty. God. Take a look at some quick stats here before we get out. I also do agree with the sentiment in chat. Slow dive player of the match. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. You're looking at 30-3 on Runasapi. Leading damage by a country mile. Absolutely agree with that. Also had, remember that original 11K that was also like a country mile ahead of, and it was over 2,000 damage ahead of anybody else in the lobby, and that was their own tank player. On Nepal. Not traditionally like, you know, super hit scan favored, right? You know, like, I mean, well, we didn't even play Sanctum. Like, and that was not playing Sanctum. Not playing the most favored hit scan submap. Slowdive had a spectacular series. Tied for top elims on Kings, even though they weren't able to win that one. Actually, it was probably kept quietest there in that map 3 on Route 66. Where you had some open silence in place, but it was also a dive map. You're playing into Hitori's Winston, right? So that makes sense. That tracks. But once we're back into the Zarya mirror, Slow Dive has all the room in the world to open up.